Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, ballers. Can I get a thumbs up in the chat? I just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. Welcome back, ballers, to episode 2 of Hangin' Loose on the News with Contemporary Problems. TJ, my man, how are you today? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you great. I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good.
I'm going to say hello to Coffee Girl. Oh, there we go. Hey, y'all, blessings. Shout out to Joe. Make sure to go follow Not Joking to Me with her new YouTube channel. Congratulations, Joe. She also shouts us out this week with our next thumbnail. You and I talked about trying to keep that in rotation. Keep it loose and unpredictable. So it'll be fun. Really appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We got some interesting headlines to share with everybody. And we always encourage people in the chat to collaborate with us, ask questions. At any point, we can always open up the phone line, TJ, if we would get anybody to call and want to talk to us. But you and I were talking about a handful of things backstage before we jumped on. But TJ, I think before we get started, please introduce yourself, let the viewers know where they can find you and support your work.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I am TJ from Contemporary Problems. You can find me at Contemporary Problems _ on most platforms or wherever you like to consume things. And you can follow me wherever there. I used to be pretty wild and pretty lit. I kind of took like the summer off this year from a lot of Contemporary Problem stuff, but I was pretty viral and stuff a couple years ago and was rocking pretty hard and did all right for a bit for sure.
And you're rocking pretty hard nowadays too with your is it one band or two bands you're in?
I'm in 2 bands, yeah. So I've been playing a lot of music, and starting bands is probably the hardest grind of it because you're like rehearsing and writing and like you have to create a lot.
Right.
So that didn't seem like it would be as much as it was, but that consumed a lot of me this summer in a good way because playing music with cool people is a really good time.
Would you say that's why you took some time off with Contemporary Problems, or did something happen where you were like, you know what, I just need a break? I need to do something else for a while.
Yeah, I think it was like about like, what can I do in the real world kind of thing. Like instead of like, I just was doing so much online where it was just like, yo, like, let's see what I can go do like out there kind of thing. Like there's a couple things I haven't done yet. I don't want to jinx it, so I won't bring that up, but like same kind of thing where it's just like performing and talking or just any kind of thing I can do like in real life is really cool. And if I have those opportunities, I don't want to take that for granted either. So it was a wave and I caught it for sure.
Yeah, Joe saying that musicians are not exactly easy to organize. I'm not sure exactly what she meant by that. I don't know if she means that all musicians are not good at organizing, or if she's talking about pooling together a drummer, a singer, a bass player, a guitarist, a keyboardist, and organizing them together and staying together and working on a
everyone
project that big.
playing for it and yeah, and understanding it and all that. Yeah, it's very much like felt like quite the chasm, felt like quite the bang to like start doing it, and the fact that it all aligned and we get like cool dudes that you like to be around.
Well, good for you, man.
Pace and understanding it. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I used to play in bands. I was probably 10 years off playing in bands. So one summer off podcasting and contemporary problems isn't that bad, considering I went quite a long time in between playing, rocking out.
And your guitar, right?
I am a guitar player, but I do not play guitar in either of the bands I'm in.
What do you play?
I sing in one of the bands, and I play bass in the other band.
That's sick. Yeah, when I grew up watching and listening to Blink-182, I always loved Mark Hoppus, and then later down the road, I found out that he has the same birthday as I do. So I thought that was interesting. But I always wanted to play bass. I just thought it was so cool. And my dad was like, no, you're going to learn guitar first. Once you learn how to play guitar, you can transition to bass a lot easier. Right. And I'm like, okay, maybe. But like bass is a whole other beast, even though there's 4 strings instead of 6. But
yeah, it's super fun. I started on bass and I always wanted to play bass, and that was like what I wanted to play, and I play a bit of guitar or whatever, but I was really good at writing songs and writing guitar riffs and guitar licks and just like that kind of creative flow and creative pusher. So I always got stuck on guitar. Like even in the band I play bass in, I've written like 60% of the songs. So it's like I wrote them on guitar and stuff, right?
So in one of your bands, you're the long-haired strawberry blonde, just lead singer.
Yeah, and everyone else is like in their 40s and dark and gray.
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense with you being the headliner, so that's pretty cool, man. Good for you. I think that's a big message that a lot of people need to keep in mind is like, including myself, I spend a lot of time online on my phone, Instagram, doing posts, building slides, creating content, YouTube, and then and all my other stuff in the real world is just my slave job. And a lot of that, especially since COVID, has been a lot more flexible or remote based. So it's like a lot of it, I'm not even engaging with these people in person. Sometimes I am, right? But sometimes there's a lot of people that are like, hey, just email me or call me, or we can do a Teams call or something. So it's just a different time that we live in, man. But without further ado, let's hang loose on the news. Do you want to kick us off, TJ, with kind of this first video that you were showing me? It looks like it was only from a couple days ago. And once again, for anybody new listening, I'm in the United States and TJ's in Canada, so hence why I'm rocking the Blue Jays hat for him today. And he's got a Canada story for us.
And it's the most Canadian thing I've ever seen.
Okay, let me hold on. Let me get this up here. Shoot. Window. All right, so you can see my screen, right? I just have StreamYard and this on the same tab. Okay.
So before we start, it too is on 822, which is 137 times 6. So I like the times 6 a lot, which is just the Sumerian cipher, but that 6 is that hex. So it's like just a cool multiple. Like I always think that the numbers can be hexed, and 822 is usually a news day or like a big day for sure.
And the 6 is also the noose, right?
Yeah.
News at 6. All right, let's play it. Just tell me, TJ, if you can't hear it, okay?
Yeah. Oh, I'm not getting any audio.
What was that?
I wasn't getting any audio.
Oh, you weren't
His
at all.
audio. Were you?
I can hear it through my headphones, and I don't know if that's the reason why. Shoot. That's a bummer, because usually when I play... Didn't we have this issue when we were trial running a little while ago? Dang it. I should have double checked that. Bummer. Yeah, Coffee Girl says she can't hear it either. What could be the issue? Dang it. Was it showing the subtitles? Damn it. All right. Well,
Oh darn.
my apologies, Teach. Would you mind just kind of summarizing it for us? I'll just play it in the background. What's that?
He's talking about the tariffs and just like what Canada's gone through with the tariffs and all that.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just have to make a reel of it or something. It'll get me back on the game. But he, like, the second half of it, he's like, well, I just know hockey. So then he starts just giving this whole like a hockey analogy. Sounds like a interview after the second period. Like, yeah, we just like with the tariffs, we just gotta like get pucks deep and like make sure we're deking and playing hard and getting in the corners and grinding it out, and you know we might get the win. Like it's just like a straight up hockey interview. It's really just funny and Canadian.
Just like assuming that the entire country of Canada are just hockey fans. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like what I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't, I'm sure, a ton of hockey fans out there, but you got to think there's a decent fraction of them that like don't even know what the Canadian teams are, you know? They're like, what the hell is he talking about? You know? But I apologize.
Yeah, it's all good. But just like on his name too, that I mentioned earlier, where I knew like within hours of Trudeau resigning that it was going to be this guy before he was even a candidate or anything. He was like kind of like deep in the draft, very, very, very low in the draft, extremely low in the draft. But because his name is Mark Carney, I knew it was going to be him because they kept during like the parliament stuff. They just kept like saying chaotic clown show. Like there was one speech where I watched the guy say it 7 times, or if you know about spell casting, you say something 7 times, or they even teach you that in sales and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll talk about that. How there's a lot of clown, and they say clown show and call each other clowns because they are. It's like some sort of weird Nephilim thing or something. Maybe I don't know deep, but I see a lot of clown stuff. Maybe I have some sort of like clown paranoia or something. I'm not afraid of clowns, but like, just it's like what I see.
Yeah, I mean, you even put it in the in our theme song. Shout out to you again. I really like that tune.
Oh, true.
But yeah, I mean, once again, this is a clown show, and of course, now taking over for Trudeau, we have Carnival. They're like telling you just in the words right there. You know, we're watching a circus, you guys. So yeah, once again, I apologize, TJ. I apologize to the viewers not being able to hear that video, but we'll figure it out. Meatball just tuned in. Good evening, everybody. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us on this Monday night. We chose Mondays for a number of reasons. Moon Day, right? Moon Day, and most people have the case of the Mondays, but hopefully for those that enjoy our show, they have something to look forward to every other Monday, right? So let me at least get my slide and thumbnail back up here real quick.
It's funny too on the Mondays because we're ballers. I always played my league basketball Monday nights for years, many years. So I associate that with balling for sure.
You have a new fan, by the way. So, hey, Joe, just make sure that you're following Contemporary Problems on Instagram as well as on YouTube. But Joe says that TJ was more entertaining anyways than watching that video. So we appreciate that compliment, Joe. So I guess for me, I've already kind of given you the cliff notes of some of the things that stood out to me over the last 2 weeks. I talked about it on our first episode, but my starter as far as looking for kind of bizarre news is I go to AP News, and they have an oddities section, and it's not overflowing with content, but give it 2 weeks and there's at least a handful of other stories that come out. And we'll just jump into the first one I thought was very interesting. Australian lawyer apologizes for AI generated errors in a murder case. I mean, it's hilarious to me, but it's also terrifying. Like, this whole world of AI, like, most people around me are just pushing the hell out of it. I'm in sales myself. You were talking about spell casting, and they're pushing oh my god, I already forgot the name of it. They were talking about it this morning. But they're pushing like some Google AI tool that we can use for like even drafting up emails. Like, hey, if you guys need to quickly draft up an email, just punch in a couple things about you want to say in your email, and boom, there you go. And everyone's loving that. I've seen videos
It's just
of
like
Go ahead.
someone talk. It's like they're talking to each other via their AI. Like no one's talking to each other anymore, just AI to AI.
Well, and it goes back to my favorite basketball player, Allen Iverson. AI, the answer.
No,
AI is the answer.
No, his shoes are. I had like a big thing on it. I had like all kinds of stuff on. I might have posted. I don't know, but because it's his shoes, his first shoe was the question. So the question and then the answer.
Oh,
That's what AI
okay.
is. Those are his two main shoes.
I didn't know that. I should have known that. Yeah, my AI will call your AI. Exactly.
Yeah,
I
they'll
mean,
set it up. Yeah, they'll set it up.
well, and it's funny that A is the first letter, and then I kind of represents the number 1, kind of like an 11. But Meatball, wait, are we talking about practice? Practice.
Well, that's just it. It's like, oh, just get the win. And you can attest to this, and we don't want to go there, but sometimes like when you're doing the bets and you're like, here's how I got here or whatever, people just want the like answer. And not against the people that are like, on the vibe and stuff, but like a lot of times people just want the answer without the like how you got there kind of thing. And I feel like that's like why AI works so well, because people just want the answer. Like they just want it now. They don't want the how to. They just want like the win now without like the journey of it.
Have you ever heard of you got to have at this point, I think. I'm blanking on his first name, but I'm pretty sure his last name is Holmes. Is it Ed Holmes or Tim Holmes,
Pete
something like
Holmes,
that?
Pete
Pete
Holmes,
Holmes? I think, yeah, maybe
yeah,
it's Pete Holmes. Have you seen his
looks
bit?
like Val Kilmer.
Yes. Yeah, and he does these Batman bits and stuff too, which are hilarious to me.
Do you know what else is he looks like Val Kilmer? His wife's name is Val. I saw that recently. I was like, whoa.
The comedian.
Yeah.
Get the Oh my
Yeah, I
god,
was like,
dude. Are you
oh
serious?
god, I wish I wasn't paying attention to that one kind of thing, because he's like one of the best for sure.
Well, because he started doing those Batman skits after he did stand-up bits about how Batman's the best superhero character and how Superman sucks and all this stuff,
Oh yeah.
But no, the reason I brought it up was because he had a whole bit about, like, he didn't even reference AI, but he referenced just the days before Google and just direct access to like Ask Jeeves, and like, he was saying something like, hey, I wonder where I don't even remember the whole bit, but he was just like, I miss those days when randomly you would just be hanging out on a Monday, pouring yourself a bowl of cereal, and then you go, I wonder how old, or I wonder where Neil Armstrong's from, since we're talking about the moon, just as an example. And he said, and if you didn't know, you didn't know. And like the whole euphoria of like just not knowing, and then the whole idea of like eventually one day you see some guy down the street wearing a Neil Armstrong landing on the moon shirt or something, and you go up to him and you go, hey, where's Neil Armstrong from? And then he tells you, and then you get this rush of like
Like it might take
finally an answer, you know?
it would take years to get that answer. Like you
Oh
wouldn't
yeah.
just get that because sometimes you'll be like, huh, yeah, it could take years before the universe to show you that. But then they'd also used to be connection because that's like old school would be like, oh, I gotta call my buddy, he'll know. And then you get the call like, hey, do you know this or whatever?
Well, you would call on the landline and then you would talk to their mom and be like, "Hey, is TJ home? Can I talk to TJ?" You know, those days too. But like going back to this article, I mean, AI, that I read this article, some lawyer was using Chat GPT. Are you serious? To write up murder cases? I mean, to me, that's terrifying. That's like another hint to like, is the whole judicial system just going to be ran by Chat GPT or something like that moving forward? I mean, I've used it a few times. I'm really not a fan of it, but I've used it a couple times just because I'm curious what comes up, and then I'll go to Google and see what mainly comes up, and it's so contradicting. Like one will tell me one thing, one will tell me the other, and then I'll rephrase my question, and then I'll get the answer I was looking for. You know, like it's so faulty. But the fact that we're putting so much trust into AI
Well, it's
and
like
how
not
it's going to
even
be
like we're
so
putting
easy.
trust into it. It's just like there, like you can't escape it. Like you push the wrong button on your phone, and it's like boom, it's like there. It's like, what did you say? It's it's just
Yeah.
like we can't escape. It's like we don't even want it. It's like you try and like search something on like Instagram, you don't even have the choice. It's just like let the AI help this search. Like it's just
Well, yeah, exactly. Like that just happened one day where it just says AI overview now every time you Google search something. I also saw a video of some kids in class. They looked like it was either a college course or like a high school course, but there was like it was kind of like a pen, kind of like this remote here. It was like a pen looking device, and they literally like it was test time, and the student gets his test. This could have been totally scripted for all I know, totally staged. But from what I saw, it was like this kid, like he got his, you know, because I mean, come on, who didn't cheat a little bit in class back in the day?
oh yeah.
There's a lot of different ways that we got creative where we had to use our own minds to cheat when we needed to. But think about this: it's like now there's AI tools that are like size of this or smaller that they pull out of their pocket or whatever, and then they like highlight over the question. It like kind of looks like a highlighter. They highlight over the question, and there's a little screen on it, and then the screen reads it, and then it gives you the answer, like immediately within seconds. You know, and like the what I saw, it was like a geometry question or something. But talk about just dumbing down the population. Like that's why I said trusting in AI. Like most people are like, "Oh no,
They
I don't think that's true. Let me go to Chat GPT really quick." No, Chat GPT says
Yeah,
this.
they treat it like it's their source now. They don't go to the real source. It's like they have to it has a godlike complex to it for sure, and people trust it to be it's like yes or no and whatever. It's real creepy.
Myron, shout out my man. I didn't know this about you. He says that I work for charter schools in LA. You know what? You did say something about that. I just didn't know exactly what you do, but he said these schools use Chat GPT a lot. They use it to create their entire school values. I mean, isn't that terrifying? I mean, I'm still working on finishing up 1984, but the more I see this stuff, it is terrifying how accurate and how in line 1984 is with a lot of this stuff. The other thing I saw was AI and ChatGPT are also eliminating words from our vocabulary. So there will be
Yes,
words like that no longer exist at some point, as long as everyone's relying on AI, you know?
to teach them and like yeah, it's some weird. It's like one source, right? They want everyone to be getting the same. Yeah, they just want everyone to be getting the same information.
Right. And not question it. Right.
No,
I feel like that's kind of one of the biggest parts of 1984. And ironically enough, 1984 was like went through the roof as far as book sales goes back in 2020 when all that went down. So I think that's something to be said about that. But moving on to the next one, Tej. Breaking news. Denmark Zoo asks people to donate their small pets as food for captive predators. I'm sorry, what?
Well, it's like, what a way to go out.
What a way to go out.
Just get eaten by a tiger? Like,
Well, dude, this is exactly what I was talking about a second ago. So when I saw this on AP News, I read the article, and then it mentioned that this Aalborg Zoo had a website with this tiger and everything, you know, advertising for this. And I went to ChatGPT and Google, and I said, what Denmark Zoo has a website where I can donate my small pet to predators? And both of them said there is no website. They both said that. And I'm like, what?
okay.
That's crazy. Because eventually I found it. You know what I mean? On my own, using my noggin. Meatball. Can I donate my ailing mother-in-law? Oh, geez, Louise.
That's what it kind of reminds me of, because in Canada, I think California might do a similar thing too. I don't know. But in Canada, it's I forgot what it stands for, but it's called MAID, MAID. And it's like government assisted death or whatever. So it's now like it's like in the top 20 way people pass in Canada already, that people are using it like a lot.
So they're like donating themselves to animals, essentially?
No, well, it's not to animals. It's just to just like, yeah, like it's just easier. Yeah, they're just assisted death. Like, it's crazy.
Well, for those that are curious about this story, as I was reading it, the zoo says that they carefully euthanize these animals. And, for me, I love my little dog Cooper. He weighs like 6 pounds, soaking wet. I just can't wrap my head around people that would just willingly just be like, yeah, here, come on, little guy, we're going to go for a walk. Psych, I'm feeding you to a tiger. Like, wow. But the article did clarify. It said they were looking for small pets like gerbils, hamsters, chickens, almost like, small bunny rabbits, farm animals, that kind of stuff. But either way,
you want my Great Dane? Like,
dude, it's bananas. Holy smokes, dude.
Yeah, they're not just gonna go like, hey, yeah, go put your dog in there, go toss your dog over the fence into the tiger cage. Like, there's gonna be a system to it. Like,
right? Like somebody shows up with their dog and they're like, can I watch? And they're like,
no thanks.
But yeah, no, this is a real website, you guys. This is called the Aalborg Zoo, which my geography ain't that great about Denmark, but apparently it's, I think, the northern tip of Denmark, something like that. The Denmark territory, if you will. But wow. Once again, this is the world we live in. People donating their farm pets. And who's not to say that there haven't been a few dogs donated, but let's get into a lighter news story, talking about dogs for a second. Who's the top dog? Wave riding canines compete in the World Dog Surfing competition championships. Excuse me. I read this article too. I don't remember the names of like who won and like who returned and stuff like that. But apparently, the dogs get more points for the longest time they stay on the board, but also like doing little tricks and turns and stuff like that. But I thought it was cute, and I just wanted to pick your brain, TJ, on like, what is it about dogs and surfing? I mean, from an astrological zodiac perspective, we know that Sirius is the dog's star. Here we are on a Monday named after the moon, and we know that the moon controls the tides, right? So I almost feel like that there's some serious reason why they have dog surfing competitions. What are your thoughts
Yeah,
on
you're
that?
right. You basically explained it all without mentioning that Sirius is in the sign Cancer. The crab. Crab lives by the shores, understands the waves, like it's part of that symbolism too, right? So the dog star is also yeah, the Sirius is like in the Cancer like section like of the zodiac. So yeah, that's why, and so like canines can be associated with that as well. It's also like peak summertime, which is interesting, and that's like you can say that's either in July or August, where it's the dog days of summer.
And
You can
hence,
pretty much say it whenever, but it's like that's essentially what it is like that week, like July 1st is like the onwards is the dog days of summer.
mhm. Well, yeah, and when you think of summer, especially if you're even if you're not near a beach, I mean, when people think summer, I think a lot of people would think of like tropical weather, laying by the beach, having a cocktail kind of thing, you know? But then I think like, I don't know, it's coming back to me, but there's a reason why they're called canines, like Canis Major, right? What
Yeah.
is it about Sirius the dog star is in Canis Major, or is that what it is?
Yeah, that's just like the constellations. Yes, it's on the constellation Canis Majoris.
Canis
And
Majoris.
then there's Sirius B, and that's I think that's Canis Minoris or whatever. So that's the smaller dog.
So you have Canis in both, but you know, if
Yeah.
anything, going back to the wordplay and why are they called canines? Well, there's your answer, you guys. The dog star is in Canis Major. You guys don't think that astrology is being taken into account by where our words come from, right? And why these news stories line up the way that they do?
And then it's Cancer is like the modern name for, it's like that's the name. And then that's like funny, or not funny, but how it's also a thing people get is cancer. Cancer just means expansion. That's like the like etymology of the word cancer.
Hmm.
So that's when the fruit starts plumping up. That's when everything is like starting to look pretty plentiful around that time.
Right. Well, because cancer, right? Like the illness, it spreads or it
Yeah.
expands.
Yeah.
Right. So same kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. Anything else on this dog surfing competition?
Well, before you brought up the astrology of it, I was just thinking like, yeah, dogs howling at the moon waves, like a lot of dogs like water and stuff, but even like their connection to dolphins.
How so?
It's like I don't know, it's in the what would that be? I don't know, it's in like the history of it kind of thing where it's like the anthropology or what I don't know what word it'd be, where it's like dogs and dolphins have like share a certain connection.
Hmm. I don't think I knew that. I would have to look into it, but I mean, makes sense. Dolphins
I
in the
remember
water.
seeing things where it's like, yeah, and like they found like prehistoric dolphins or whatever that still had legs. Because it's like seals and like it's like they kind of come
That's great.
like the kind
Well,
of
yeah.
water mammal thing. Like,
Well, I'm sure there's a lot about like just the way that they communicate, right? I mean, I don't think dolphins bark, but they do that kind of
yeah,
stuff, you know?
they're the barking of the sea,
Yeah, there you
the
go.
underwater barks.
Yeah. I would say those seals are more of the land sea animals, you know,
Yeah.
clapping their fins and stuff. Um, but all right, so I already showed you kind of the last bit of what I had to share for tonight. It's going to be an extension to what I shared the other night, called "Knowledge Pays" on Kobe Bryant's birthday. So for those of you guys that don't know, yesterday was Kobe Bryant Day, 8/24. Kobe wore the numbers 8 and 24. The day before that was his birthday, August 23rd. What are the odds that those 2 days are together so perfectly? So we're going to kind of rehash what I touched on to begin, and then I have a follow up to that presentation. So if you guys aren't aware, Kobe Bryant reportedly died in a helicopter crash, right? Right before, you know,
The Kobe 19.
the good one. Yeah, there you go. The Kobe 19. right before it really hit the US in Seattle first, right? Very, very close to Canada. But point being, we had that story, which really shocked the world, rather. That's how big Kobe was in the world of sports. But this story came out on August 22nd, just a few days ago, the day before Kobe's birthday. Okay. Pilot fighting derby fire in western Colorado is okay after crashing helicopter. So don't forget, too, that we're in the year of plane and helicopter crashes, right? We had the Black Hawk helicopter crash into the American Eagle plane on the 29th day of the year this year, followed up by that helicopter crashing in the Hudson River. I believe that was back in April. But point being, on the eve of Kobe Bryant's what would be his 47th birthday, we have this story in a place none other than Colorado. Well, where in Colorado was it? A helicopter pilot working on the Derby fire in western Colorado is okay after crashing Friday near the Eagle County Airport while working the fire. Well, I already gave it away here in the screenshot, but just me knowing my Kobe and I was never a Kobe fan, but knowing the stuff about Kobe, Colorado's very important in this story because there was a very, very big sexual assault scandal that went down back in the day, and his trial was in, of course, Eagle County. Think about that, you guys. On the day before what would be Kobe's 47th birthday in Eagle County, Colorado, where Kobe had his trial, we have a helicopter crash. Happy to hear that the pilot's okay, but that was the first one that caught my eye. And you can stop me at any point here, Teach. So for those that are old enough, I mean, you guys should remember this story if you're even remotely interested in sports, let alone basketball. But anyway, so that was the first one. Then you go to the next day, which was Kobe Bryant's, or what would have been his 47th birthday. What happened? The Huron Daily Tribune reports that no serious injuries reported after helicopter crashes near Caseville on Kobe Bryant's 47th birthday. I didn't know where Caseville was, but I looked it up and immediately I was like, oh, here we go. It's in Michigan, right?
And that sounds like like on the wordplay, that sounds like slang. If you were up to here in cases, you'd be like, man, I may as well move to Caseville with all these cases. Like, it's just in the name, right? Just like I was thinking about
Holy
the Eagles,
smokes,
right?
dude, wow.
Because Kobe's like favorite team was Philadelphia Eagles, right?
Yeah, and
yeah,
oh my God, this is crazy that you bring that up. Caseville, that's a good one, dude. We had the Kobe sexual assault case, the trial going down in Eagle County. Good point. Who just won the Super Bowl this year? The Philadelphia Eagles, where Kobe Bryant's reportedly from. I'm going to have to do a date duration on that back to the Super Bowl. But now you have Caseville the following day, this time in Michigan. But dude, I just saw this too. You were talking about Eagle County, right? Look at the two names of the people that wrote this story. Eric Young and Mark Birdsall. Seriously? Mark Birdsall reports the helicopter crash in Michigan. And the Eric Young is kind of interesting to me too, because I have a Kobe book called Forever Young. And I titled it that because it has been reportedly said that Kobe has told his fellow teammates, he said on interviews that he wants to die young, so that way he can be forever mortalized, right? It's like those people that die too soon. It kind of hits harder, I think, for people, especially when you're that high up on the world stage. So Mark Birdsall reports the helicopter crash in Caseville on Kobe's birthday, the day after the case and trial in Eagle County. You guys see that? That's crazy. So, but why does Michigan matter? This was going to be kind of my punchline. The state of Michigan was founded on January 26th, which is the reported death of Kobe Bryant back in 2020. You guys see how perfect that is?
And even that 37 at the end, 1837, that 37 there.
Yes, sir. Bryant equals 37. Los Angeles equals 37. Yep. We know all about that, don't we?
And then the 157 is the 37th prime.
Yeah, and Kobe Bryant reportedly died on the 157th day of his age, didn't he?
Holy.
Yes, sir. So here's the follow-up to the video I did on this just 2 days ago. 2 days ago on Kobe Bryant Day. That was the same day that the first day in college football. I don't know if you saw the video, TJ, but I'll give you the book or the cliff notes. I took Iowa State to beat Kansas State. This game was played in Dublin, Ireland, which is interesting in of itself. But I went with Iowa State, despite them being underdogs in that game, because it made me just think about their mascot. They're called the Cyclones. And I was like, okay, on Kobe Bryant's birthday, who died in a helicopter, all I did was go to Google and I searched Cyclone helicopter. And sure enough, there was immediately it popped up the Sklorsky Cyclone. And it's a Canadian military chopper. So you should know all about the Canadian military, right, Teach? So right there, I was
hockey sticks and some beavers. And
there you go. But the Sklorsky really stood out to me because Sklorsky apparently is some, military helicopter manufacturer that also made the helicopter that Kobe reportedly crashed in. So it's from the same manufacturer. It's called the Cyclone. The Cyclones are playing, and I look up Iowa State's founding date, March 22nd, 322, Skull and Bones, right? And you measure from that date, it was 211 days apart, the 47th prime, and today is Kobe, or during that day on Saturday, it was Kobe's 47th birthday. And then on top of that, where is Skull and Bones from? Do you know that one?
Yale,
yes, sir. So I measured from that game on Saturday to the founding date of Yale. I'll give you one guess how many days apart that is.
Oh, I didn't hear what it would be, but is it probably like is it a 322 or is it like
it's 47?
Obnoxious.
It's 47. So when you measure from Iowa State, the 322 date, it's 211 days, the 47th prime. Black Mamba equals 211, by the way. So does Los Angeles CA. But you then measure from the game forwards to Yale's founding date, it's 47 days. So I was like, holy smokes. You can't be serious. Not to mention that Gianna Bryant's birthday, the daughter who died with Kobe, apparently, her birthday is on the founding date of the Bavarian Illuminati. But that's besides the point. Her birthday is 3 months and 22 days before Kobe's.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I needed to see. There were a few other things, but I'll just leave it there. It was crazy. So there was that one. We've been sorry, go ahead, Teach.
Did Iowa win? Did you get did you get the win?
We got the win. We covered the spread and the money line, yeah.
My mind went to Kansas. Like there's so much with Kansas. We're not in Kansas anymore and all that, but
yeah.
Something with like James Naismith, who is like the guy that kind of invented basketball. Because he just like the Celtics, so in Ireland then, so like he started in Boston, but then like when the official rule book was made in the University of Kansas. So that's like where my mind went. So I would have lost that day if I was betting.
well, in all fairness, sometimes ignorance is bliss. I wasn't aware of those connections, and I wasn't taking it that far, because I didn't know that. So regardless, even if I did know that, Tej, I would have been like, dude, this whole Cyclone helicopter thing on Kobe's birthday is just too much for me to fade, But those are some good additions too. There's always so much to consider, especially the more that you know. That's where it gets harder, But to cap things off, this was posted today. Shout out to Ani Asaru, the Spiritual Shade Room. He sent this to me after watching my video a couple days ago. Actually, no. Sorry, he sent me the story about the Kobe biopic or biopic. I don't. Someone in the chat, please tell me how to pronounce that word. But it's this new biography movie thing that's coming out at some point, and Michael B. Jordan is going to be playing a young Kobe. How about that? But this came up today from TMZ News that a helicopter crash blaze fighting mission spins out of control. And this was published today. However, when I went in and read the article, it said that this actually happened yesterday, which means that it happened on Kobe Bryant Day. So we've now covered the day before Kobe's birthday, helicopter crash. The day of his birthday, helicopter crash. The following day, which is Kobe Bryant Day, helicopter crash. Are you kidding me? 3 helicopter crash stories back to back before, during, and after Kobe's birthday in the year of the snake of all years.
Yeah, it's straight ritual. They're putting it just like
Dude,
great. Yeah,
this is insane to me. Look at this. Go and watch the video. Like, apparently, this is the second of the 3 stories we've touched on where apparently he's trying to fight a fire of some kind. You watch the video, I don't see any flames anywhere, but anyways, whatever you call it that's hanging from the helicopter that kind of sprays the retardant or whatever to like take out the fire, it keeps going lower and lower, and then once it actually gets into the water, that like it kind of like sucked the helicopter in, it starts spinning and then smashes into the lake. So I just put in this screenshot from that article that this crash actually went down Sunday evening. It didn't go down today, even though that's when TMZ reported the news. Just absolutely mind-blowing, dude. So once again, just to emphasize, this happened on Kobe Bryant Day. After two
was the first one on the 22nd?
Yes.
Was it 22nd, 23rd, 24th? There we go.
Yep.
I said at the start, the significance, because it's 137, the 33rd prime number times 6 hexed. Like Kobe equals 33, war 33. Like it just adds to it.
Well, and it's the 22nd day of the 8th month, right? Basketball equals 22, right? And Pythagorean. So Kobe Bryant wore number 8 playing basketball. and notice too, so all 3 of these stories, we touched on Colorado and why that mattered. Next, we touched on Michigan and why that mattered. The last thing I forgot to mention about this third story is that it took place in France. And what's crazy about that to me, doing some back-end research, was I was like, I could have sworn Kobe Bryant spoke French, which he did, but he spent most of his childhood in Italy, but he did spend, I want to say, at least a year or 2 in France before apparently he moved back to the United States. So all 3 of these stories took place in geographical locations that are directly aligned with Kobe Bryant in the year of the snake. Not to mention that first helicopter crash of this year, January 29th, 129, you and I just talked about this, DJ. The same day of this story happening, they announced that the Kobe Bryant Michael Jordan dual signed basketball card was sold for $12.9 million on the date, leaving 129 days left remaining in the year. And January 29th, the very first helicopter plane crash took place on the date written 1/29, which was also the same freaking day, dude, that the year of the snake began. Mic drop.
Well, and it's and for those that like, we know it's so deep, so we just sometimes forget to bring up like the simple stuff that Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan equal the same in gematria.
Well, yeah, and think about Kobe Bryant was born on the 23rd day of the 8th month. Well, Kobe wore 8, Jordan wore 23. Michael Jeffrey Jordan equals 238. Right? It's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Sorry, I was pondering.
No, you're fine. But yeah, I know I might have thrown a lot at you there. But anyone in the chat have anything else to add?
Ooh, another fun thing, interesting, is that they're opposites. Michael Jordan is Aquarius. Kobe. Oh no, Kobe's a Virgo. Never mind. He's freshly a Virgo. I was like, oh, Kobe's a Leo, but he's a Virgo. So never mind. Scratch that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be astrological things beyond all of that stuff. I just stick to what I know, really, and then that's why I lean on people like you that know better about some of those things.
I used to, like, the same way you use numbers and codes and stuff. I used to use astrology to bet, to place my bets and pick players and check that out kind of thing and see if there was anything going on there. But that was a time before, like, pre-2020, where I think sports weren't as, like, they let a lot more go back then too. So I think the astrology used to work, but now they don't let it go. It's like full script. You have to stick to the script a lot more. So it seems.
I would agree with that. I mean, for me, I remember in 2021 was when I moved out here to Texas, and that was like in the first, year, probably 6 to 8 months since kind of starting the Instagram page and whatnot. And I was doing my best to decode like some baseball games. And, I'm first to admit, I can name the signs of the zodiac. I can't name them in order perfectly. I can also name, but I didn't even know that at the time, really. But what I did know was the days of the week and how they are named after planets, right? Monday on Moon Day, Saturday on Saturn Day, Sunday on Sunday, right? That kind of stuff. And I remember just decoding like 8 to 10 games, something like that. And all I did was look at the name gematria of the planet or the orb, whatever you want to call it, and the day of the week. And then aligned that up with just these different teams that were playing. Bro, it was like a 10-game sweep. Like I shared it in a group chat and everyone was like, who the hell is this kid? And I was like, dude, maybe I was lucky, but like that was one of the most like mind-blowing things to me. I was like, I just used the days of the week and the planets that they were named after and very simple English front and back gematria. And I was like, holy smokes, this worked on every single game. And then you just kind of assume that that's how it works every time. And obviously that's not the case, but.
No, but then I joke to you, it's like a broken clock's right twice a day. So if you guess the 2 right times, then you win. Like it's however which way you want to get there, for sure.
Yeah. But it's not right 8 to 10 times a day, Enthused Dream says MJ is the mutable cross and is ruled by Jupiter and Mercury. The mutable cross is the X. Yeah. The Enthused Dreams, I'm very confident, is also a big fan of Rambo. He's had a lot of work on the mutable cross and how, if you take that wheel and you look at the mutable cross, those 4 signs, when you take these big names and these different stories and whatnot, you look at their birthdays and you'll see that they all practically all the time fall within that mutable cross. So nice addition, the Enthused Dreams. Appreciate it.
Except for he would be part of the fixed cross, unless he has maybe something in his chart, because he's an Aquarius. That's a fixed sign.
Okay,
so you can be a fixed cross, mutable cross, or a cardinal cross.
Gotcha. Well, maybe the Enthused Dreams can follow up with what they meant by that exactly. Because once again, I'm an infant when it comes to understanding all of that. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better, but once again, I stick to what I know confidently. Do we dare even talk about this? I mean, there are a handful of people out there that do think that Kobe Bryant is Myles Garrett in a bodysuit, essentially, just playing his next role on the world stage. I don't have too much I can add to that. I mean, the looks are very on point. You know, they've shown clips of Myles Garrett playing basketball, and it does look kind of similar. I'll be honest. I mean, it's an intriguing topic, but I don't know. I guess I just haven't put enough time, energy, or effort to kind of go down that rabbit hole, so to speak.
I would think it would be more like cloning kind of thing. Like there would be more of that kind of cut from the cloth, some sort of kind of engineering. It's like, why do all the famous people look like, why do they all have doppelgangers and look the exact same?
That's a good point. Who's not to say that, you know, throughout Kobe growing up, they've always had or took some of his DNA to then kind of build upon the next, you know, big athlete or whatever.
Well, yeah, you think like look at, and it's like they get stuff like LeBron James' baby picture has like a bigger jawline than like most of us could ever have at like age 2.
Yeah.
Like it's just like that ain't like
He probably had his
it's
full
like,
on beard and he was balding at like the age of 6, you know.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like I said, that was pretty much all I had to cover on today's episode. I hadn't seen anybody in the chat really throw out any other news stories that we could hang loose on. But since I have you, brother, is there, I don't know, anything else that's been going on with you and or
like
in the
us
news that you think is interesting?
I was just thinking about how time in, time out again, they and a lot of politicians don't, like a lot of the government houses don't operate as much in the summer and stuff. So there's that as well. But that they don't let the crazy psyops and crazy news, they don't unleash it as much in the summer because they know people just like don't like they can't get people to like care enough or focus on it.
So you're saying like when, you know, people are outside enjoying the weather when they're not manipulating it.
Yeah.
They're out doing stuff, having
Yeah,
fun.
and they can't. Yeah. Like
They're
they
not on their
know that
phones.
they're gonna lose that. Like they know that they just can't like
Yeah.
gain that full attention. Like the phones and where we are with technology might get us like closer than we've ever been to like having us stay hooked. But they just know like once summer hits, same with like weekend. Like there's like news isn't hype on the weekend kind of thing. Like it's very much a weekday thing.
You know what? That is such a good point because same goes for sports, really. There is such a downtime like right after the NBA finals where it's only baseball. Like maybe a little golf and or soccer, right? You know, shout out to Adam the Illusion and Rambo and stuff that pay attention to soccer. I don't really have the interest, nor do I have the extensive knowledge about it. Sometimes I'm even confused by the rules. Like the game will be over, but then there's extra time now because the refs accounted for when the ball went out of bounds and threw it back in, and what they're making a tally of that. Like I think that's such a joke. No. The ref decided that there's going to be extra time, but we don't know exactly how much extra time there is. We're just going to call it when we want to call it. But anyways, but yeah, that's really interesting with what you're talking about. Like the news stories kind of go down a little bit. They don't ramp up until they know that more people are inside their homes, watching TV, being on their phones more. You know, I don't think that ain't a coinky dink.
No, so that's like just like as far as doing this episode like late in summer or whatever, right? But one thing I was thinking of was like an internet trend of like how Cracker Barrel. I don't know if you've seen the Cracker Barrel memes and stuff.
Yeah. That's one of the hottest things in the news these days.
Yeah. So what's funny is every fast food and kind of major chain is switching to this like minimalist like vibe, this look. And if you look at like, you could probably load it up. We don't have to, but it's like if you pay attention to like what a KFC looks like now and what a McDonald's looks like now and what all these places look like now versus what we grew up with and stuff, they're literally just a black cube. And they're all like I said that on like the last episode. I'm like, don't get me going on the Saturn hamburgers. I don't know if I said that, but that sounds like something I would say. Because a hamburger is like Saturn essentially, like the shape of it, the rings.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And then it makes me think about Wendy's, which is the square shaped patties. Do you guys have Wendy's in Canada?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh
But
yeah.
but every
Oh
fast
yeah.
food
We love
place.
our Wendy's. Why would I did an
Oh, big
Irish?
time.
That's funny. I'm trying to pull up. Yeah, let's see. Oh, Cracker Barrel responds to backlash over new logo.
But then it's the hexagon. The new logo's the hexagon. So it's still like the Saturn's in there. So they're probably gonna like take the wagon wheels out from out front of a Cracker Barrel or whatever that decor is, and it's probably gonna go to like that more black cube thing that like all the fast food franchises all look like now.
Yeah, no, that's so interesting because they were showing how like back in the day, Pizza Hut had that OG logo, and like their buildings were like had those kind of TP hut shaped.
Like I still see those businesses.
know?
We still have some businesses here that are old Pizza Huts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're not Pizza Hut anymore, like old style, but like whatever business runs out of there now, it's still the building is like the pizza shop, the Pizza Hut shape.
That was just one example though. Like McDonald's, they were so much more colorful, and they had the play place, right? I can't remember the last time I've ever seen a McDonald's with any sort of play place in it. You know what I mean? Like a little ball pit and a slide and stuff like that.
See if I might be able to load up some of my McDonald's symbolism. It's pretty funny. I'll see if I can get it quick.
After suffering a week
in the
of online
meantime,
backlash to its new streamlined logo design, a 9% drop in its stock price, the Cracker Barrel restaurant chain finally responded to critics Monday in a statement admitting it could have done a better job sharing who we are and who we'll always be. Quote, if the last few days have shown us anything, it's how deeply people care about Cracker Barrel, the company said. Quote, we are truly grateful for your heartfelt voices. It was an optimistic take on what has been, by any measure, a fraught period for the Southern flavored chain. 9% drop. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, the one I saw of like what a new Cracker Barrel would look like almost looks like a Target or something to me. Yeah, it looks so cookie cutter. Every place looks the frickin' same except for the logo. And even then they keep, I understand like logos have to kind of, there's some logos that won't die, right? Like I don't think the Chicago Bulls or the Boston Celtics or the Red Sox or the Yankees, I don't think they're ever changing their logo, But anyways, were you going to say something?
No, I gave up trying to get the link to just like some funny looking McDonald's symbolism, but it's like in the new logo, it's the same Saturn thing. It's now the hexagon.
Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, right here.
And it's like, of course, it becomes a trend when it's a yellow hexagon. Like, of course, the digital hive mind is talking about this yellow hexagon logo.
It just looks so generic, man. And like they say, it's an old country store. I mean, anybody who's not familiar with Cracker Barrel now, when they see that logo, what are they going to think? Like, be like, what the heck? What is this place? Enthused Dreams. Yeah, I totally agree. Saying everything is boring now. Did you all see all the logos that are in the orange era? Not sure what you mean, the enthused, the orange era, but
I saw a photo where it was like a parking lot from like the 80s or maybe earlier, and every car was a color. And it was like parking lot now, and it's like white, black, gray.
Yeah, maybe a hint of blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. God, that's so weird. It's so sad. It's a bummer. I immediately thought that it would be like a racial issue. I guess. I don't know. Everyone's so
it's Cracker.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like that's kind of funny to think about, other races being like, or yeah, that's just the white folk coming out being like, enough is enough of Cracker Barrel. Like, we're gonna take our power back. Like, give me a break. Oh man, like they even got rid of the barrel, man. Like, keep the
It's
barrel
all
at
the
least.
hive mind, dude. It's like I just can't not see the distorted hexagon.
Yeah, I never thought about the shape. I think that at first glance, I thought it was kind of more of like a rounded rectangle, but yeah, you're right. That's wild, man. Yeah, no, that's a good point. That this is the latest Look at this one. It's like
Yeah,
smaller.
I've seen that one.
Oh, you've
Yeah.
seen this one
Yeah,
with
I've seen
Dave
a lot of
Chappelle?
it. I couple. I saw one where it was like because Miley Cyrus looks all weird now, so it was like her face with the one. It was pretty good.
Oh, that's good. That's funny, man. Should get that on a T-shirt or something. Yeah, so I'm not the only one. Coffee Girl said, "Yeah, me too." When I first heard about it. Yeah, that's crazy. Enthuse was saying all the logos promoting Taylor Swift Orange era. There are so many promoting that. I wonder why. Well, I mean, orange is a number of deception. Coincidence Joey has talked a bit about that over the years, and he was one of the first people I know that actually really caught on to that. And he had so many examples of, people coming out prematurely during sports games, and if they're wearing orange, it's like a ritual that they're going to lose. And there's like just countless examples of that. One of them that comes up is Jalen Hurts. So he won this year, right, with the Eagles, but the year before, actually, was it the year prior? He lost in a Super Bowl before going back and winning. But there was a whole like commercial that came out with him in it, and he was like sitting on these steps in front of pillars with the Freemasonry stuff, and yeah, he was wearing like a big bright orange sweatshirt or something. So
And it's like even they got rid of the red and the logo is black. Like that's just that Saturn. Just
yeah, I never thought about that hexagon shape, man. That's a good one.
well,
It's
I
just
see it everywhere.
it's just so plain now. Keep the barrel or keep the chair like this one, the rocking chair or something. I don't know.
Yeah, any character. Like it's just so like digital world. Like it's with all the AI generating we can do in the world, and that's what you come up with, a cube.
Right.
But like the cube, like it's, and I just wanted to find this out, and I've found something interesting because Staples Center, I was like, when did Staples Center change to crypto.com? I was curious what year that was. Because crypto.com's logo is the black cube. It's a lion, and it's the demiurge inside of a black cube. It's like literally what its logo is. And the arena formerly known as Staples Centers was renamed crypto.com Arena on December 25th. So Saturn, Satan, Santa Claus on freaking Santa Claus special day.
Nice.
Yeah. The Grim Reaper too is same kind of thing. So that's the crypto.
The Bloods and the Cryptos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to shout out my buddy Myron. He's actually been on a lot of stuff with crypto.com Arena. We're going to work on another live stream soon once we get all our notes and visuals up. But he was talking a bit about crypto Catholicism, where it's like you kind of pick and choose when you say that you're Catholic, for example. And there's so much to it, man. I mean, I don't want to give too much away here, but just think about what recently came out in the news with regards to Derrick Rose, right? So they're going to retire his jersey on the 24th day of January next year. Early on in the year, on Michael Jordan's birthday in Canada, you had that upside down plane crash on runway 23, right? There's been a lot of Rose connections too. Think about I don't remember the officer's first name, but I'm sure you heard about that CDC shooting that went down near Emory University. Well, the officer that was killed, his first name was It started with a D, so you have a D Rose right there, and then shortly after, they announced that they're going to retire D Rose's jersey. It reminds me too earlier this year when you had that twin brother stabbing in the heart story in Dallas, and the culprit, his name was Carmelo Anthony, and then the same day, seriously, they announced that Carmelo Anthony was going to be a nominee for the Hall of Fame. I mean, the coincidences are astronomical.
So here's a fun one with Derrick Rose. Do you know what a derrick is? Like you could be an oil derrick.
No.
Okay.
Is that one of
It's
those
like the
Canadian
oil
slang
thing. The thing
terms?
that like it's like a thing like no, it's like I don't know. It's like a tower and like the oil comes up through it kind of thing.
Well, it sounds like you would know about that because of the Canadian Oilers or the
Oh
Edmonton
yeah.
Oilers.
Oh yeah. They used to skate under an oil derrick to like go onto the ice.
Interesting. Okay. No, I did not know about that.
So there's that with Derrick Rose, but then it's Rose like rising. So that's kind of where I was going with that kind of thing. But he's born October 4th. So that's 10-4, right? And so to go on that, like we say 10-4, like Roger that. It's a good, like understood kind of thing. So on the astrological wheel, Capricorn at the bottom, the 10th sign, the sun goes, that's the lowest point in the sky. So his birthday's in October, blah, 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 the 10-4. Then the fourth sign, Cancer, the very top of the wheel, peak of summer. So dead of winter to peak of summer. It's like when you see the 10-4, it's like also signifying the rise of the cycle.
Wow.
Where if you saw the 410, it would be the decline. So just that his name's Rose and then he's born 10-4.
That's wild too. Yeah, because Myron was talking about, and actually this is like right before the news broke. I think on my last stream with Myron, we were talking about just all this crazy stuff with the Lakers this year. This is going to be their 66th season in Los Angeles. And they announced the NBA schedule. They announced the NBA schedule on Magic Johnson's birthday, his 66th birthday. You know, and the Forum was founded on Michael Jordan's on LeBron James's birthday. There's a lot to it, but then he started going into the Israelites. And we were talking about Steph Curry. One of his son's name is Cannon, like the Canaanites. And he showed a map, and I saw, oh, cool. Or look how there's Simeon as well. And I said, it reminds me of Simeon High School, and that's where Derrick Rose went. So, and then sure enough, the Derrick Rose stuff came out like immediately after. And so we're going to be adding that into our presentation as well. But
I won. That was one of the biggest nights I won. He had like the 50-point game where he was crying. He was playing for Minnesota. It was like 2019, 2020 maybe. And it was like his last 50-point game. And I was just watching. I was like, yo, Derrick Rose is playing. And Derrick Rose is getting a bit more playing time. And it was one of those things where he was like playing 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And it was just perfect storm where like the right people were out. And it's Tom Thibodeau is the coach who plays the guys 40 minutes a game. So I was like, yo, Derrick Rose has been buzzing. Like I was just all in. Like I was watching it. And like, so I like had a lot of money on it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this game. I think he's going to go off. And he goes off with this like emotional 50 points. Like it was like even my like roommates and stuff were like, dude, that was like, they're not even basketball guys. Like, dude, that was insane. Like crying and passionate kind of thing. But
yeah, I mean, there were other connections with Derrick Rose and LeBron James. If Myron, you're still out there, keep me honest. But D Rose won his first MVP in 2012, and that was the same year that the NBA season got reduced to 66 games when LeBron James won his first championship. Right? Where LeBron James equals 66, LeBron equals 66, Lakers equals 66, you know, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, he didn't win with the Lakers that year, but you get the point. He's with the Lakers now. He'll be is he turning 40 at the end of the year.
41,
Well,
which
41.
would be
Perfect.
Kobe's. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how that plays out. There's a lot more to be shared about that. I'll keep you posted when that stream gets scheduled. But I don't mean to cut this short. You know, we are at about an hour 15, but I do have some fam business I got to attend to, so I don't want to leave you hanging. But was there anything else that you wanted to throw out there before we wrap things up?
Yeah, there was one, and it was like a little more sports. Was they were throwing in the exhibition game? I know it was in Nashville, in the Tennessee Titans, and someone threw a green dildo on the field.
Now
But
they're
then
doing.
when I was googling that or searching that, I found out that there's been lots of dildos throughout the last 10 years been thrown on NFL fields.
Oh,
It's just
really?
not as. It's just not now it's just like with the trend and like again the digital hive mind kind of thing. It's just now
Right.
it's like people make it a thing or whatever, right? But I thought that was interesting that like a bunch of articles from the past came up when I was trying to just find.
That's funny too, because I'm
From
sure
that.
you've seen all those like short videos, like montage clips of these football announcers, and the kind of stuff that they say are like some of the most sexually
Oh yeah, that too. Well, it's like
like
that's a comedy bit with like football. It's like, hey, you want to play a game? Cool. Just yeah, put your hands in my crotch.
okay, yeah, bend over.
You know, it's just like, hey,
all
yeah,
right,
you
bend
wanna play
over, put your
sports?
your
Yeah.
hands, you know, under my
Yeah.
gooch, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna hike the ball.
Yeah.
And yeah, that oh, so and so drives it up so hard up the middle. Like
Yeah.
there's so many examples of that kind of stuff. But I didn't know that because episode 1, right? I think we opened with that latest hive mind news about these sex toys getting thrown on the WNBA courts. But I had no idea that it's been going on a lot longer than that, especially in football. But that makes sense too, because that's one of the most kind of, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there. It makes sense to me that you brought up football when it comes to that. So, but all right, man. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm just gonna thank you, for the comment. 22 peeps right now. I see 19 and that are watching. Only 11 likes. Come on, guys. If we can get those likes up, please make sure to hit that like and the subscribe and the share wherever you guys see fit. We really, really appreciate it. It helps keep us going. It helps us know that the word is getting out and people enjoy the content. So I always appreciate every like and subscribe. Make sure to follow my boy Contemporary Problems, TJ, at contemporaryproblems _ on most platforms. And the links are in the description of the video. So I'll close out by thanking everybody in the chat. And thank you, TJ. As always, I'm really excited about this new project that we're doing. And if you can close us out, just remind everybody where people can find you and support you.
I think we got that covered, but let's just remind everyone to hang loose and not hang on to the news too hard,
Yep.
Keep
Well,
chilling.
and back to one of the first things you said, it's very easy these days. They want us to be in front of screens all the time, either watching content or making content while they control all of it along the way, and not get outside and not see what you can do in the real world. So that was one of the big things I took away from you.
It's masters of psychosis and psychology that have been doing this for thousands of years on us. So now that they have the technology and stuff, and it's like they're manufacturing a lot of these trends. They don't just come out of nowhere and become a trend. There's certain people that are like forced to or told to talk about them and make them the trends. Oh, so and so's talking about it, so now it's a trend kind of thing. And that a lot of these trends aren't organic, and I don't think we've seen an organic trend in a very long time. Although some of it is really funny, and I do give a little bit of faith in humanity, and that some of it is, but for the most part, I think like back in the day, like YouTube 10, 15 years ago, if like something was viral, it was legitimately viral, where it just seems like, oh, you got like, it's just, oh, the algorithm chose you, allowed you to be it, kind
Right.
of thing.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Especially just experiencing doing this content on YouTube, how quickly they're able to like catch certain things and flag you for this and blah, 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 blah. I mean, yeah, I agree with you, man. I think those days are over as far as just somebody naturally going viral. I mean, people can naturally grow as long as people are hitting that like and the share and the subscribe and, you know, plugging each other's work and, you know, strength in numbers, pun intended. But somebody just making a video walking down the street that is hilarious, well, if the algorithm doesn't like it or somebody behind the scenes is like, no, we're not going to waste our time with that. I think it's very difficult to just, you know, go viral overnight. Like the Hawktua girl, give me a break, man.
Yeah.
I looked into that story within 5 minutes. I was like, this is so contrived. It's ridiculous. But yeah. Oh my God, you just took me down memory lane. Charlie bit my finger. Or I like turtles. Like I miss those videos. Yeah, those were the days for sure. And that's why I love getting together with you, man, so we can you know, reminisce on some good old times, talk about what's going on in the news and staying off the news. So I love you, Tej. We'll wrap it up there, man. Let's close it. Let's close it out once again with some likes and subscribes. We'll catch you guys again in 2 weeks.